What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mike Rashid.
Shout out Miss Bounty Tank.
We're doing a Q&A. We out in Dallas, Plano to be exact. It's kind of fancy out here. But all right, so I haven't read any of your questions yet. I just 5 minutes ago I told you I was going to do a Q&A and post it, and we're just going to go off of your questions. I'm not going to screen everything. Alright, so let me get this ready. We put it on Facebook and Twitter. There's a gang of questions already. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Where's it at? Okay, here we go. Alright, let me get this ready. Alright. First question. You guys are boring me. How long do you work out for? It depends on the day. It could be 30 to 45 minutes. It could be an hour and a half. It depends on what I'm working on, what my mission is for that day. It doesn't take a long time for me to get to where I need to go because of the intensity and the short resting periods. So that, it can be a pretty short 45 minutes. A lot of people think, oh, overtraining. So you're in the gym, you're training for 3 hours? No, you'll never see me training that long. I know what I'm doing, so my time is very efficient when I'm training, and I get right to the money and get out of there, What about you?
I'm usually in there about an hour to an hour and a half. Since my cardio has gotten better, now I can go in there and knock it out in about an hour and a half. So, before when I first started off, really getting into weightlifting, I usually be in about 2 hours, but my endurance has increased, so now I'm usually in there an hour and a half tops. Leg days, I'm usually in there minimum hour and a half. So
yeah, leg days do take a little longer. That's something that you can really beat up. Same with back actually. So those days take longer. A lot more to do on those days. Those are the difficult days, but I love them because I can get pumped up for leg day, So moving right along. Alright, best way to burn fat on bottom of your chest pec, round the bottom. Listen, you can't burn fat in one area unless you're getting liposuction. Okay? To bring fat down, you have to do it overall in your entire body. So you have to drop your body fat, and you do that by eating properly, eating fairly clean, decreasing your caloric intake, or if you're not decreasing your caloric intake, increasing the amount of calories you're burning by training properly. It's simple. The more calories you burn, you need to be burning more calories than what you're putting into your body to lose weight, to lose fat, okay? However, bottom of your chest pec, if you're already losing weight or fat and you still have what you think is fat at the bottom of your chest, you probably have gynecomastia, gyno or bitch tits. That's what they call it. I'm not making this shit up. Bitch tits is a medical term for gyno. So anyway, in that case, you might have to see a doctor. I don't know if there's a way to get rid of it, maybe by surgery or something like that, but I don't think there's anything you can take to get, or exercise you can do to get rid of gyno. It's I believe it's a hormonal thing, and to where you're starting to produce mammary glands. That means the estrogen levels are a little too high, and you got some nice ass titties. Alright, move right along. That's gross. Alright. Edgardo Santos said, "You're my hero and inspiration." Enough said. Good night, bro. Good night, Edgardo. You my boy. Love you, fool. Alright. Hey man, love what you doing. Okay. Ignacio is a fucking pervert. What is your favorite nipple type?
what?
You really gonna ask me that? right. I like the big areas. I'm fucking with you, man. Come on, man. Ask me some better questions than that. That's ridiculous. All right.
Tips.
How do you arrange your schedule from Monday till Sunday? Training schedule? Right now, it's kind of all over the place because I'm traveling a lot, and I do a lot of training videos while traveling. So sometimes it's just kind of all over the place right now. But what I like to do, if I'm not doing a superset program, I'll do back on Monday, chest on Tuesday, legs on Wednesday, shoulders on Thursday, arms on Friday. Bada boom, bada bang. What about you?
As far as getting in the gym, I get in when I can. I got a 24-hour access key to a gym, so whenever I'm not out chasing fugitives and I'm free, I go hit the gym. So it could be 2 in the evening or 2 a.m. at night. I just get in when I can. No excuses.
Do you have a time that you like to train, that you prefer to train?
I prefer to train. I actually prefer to train at night.
Okay.
Just because there's nobody in the gym. I go in there, play the music, do what I want, and it's just peaceful. It's just me and my zone. So
right.
I like living at night.
Right. See, I prefer to train early to midday, 10, 11 o'clock. Reason being is I'm all the way awoke. See, I wake up really early to be woke by the time I step out the door. I like it to be, you see me in the morning, pretty grumpy. You know what I mean? Because I'm not woke yet. So by like 11 o'clock, I got a couple good meals in me, digested all down, and I'm ready to kick ass. Sometimes my day get a little bit away from me, and I don't get to train till later, and I'm in a bad mood because I don't feel strong at night. I feel worn out from my day. My days are very, very hectic, very busy. So by the time nighttime comes, I'm pretty much out of it. I'll still train, I'll still get it in, but I won't be my best. I'm usually 100% around 11 o'clock. So everybody has what works for them though. You find what works for you. And typically there have been times that I used to train at night, and that was my thing. There was times that I would train super early in the morning, and that was my thing. Whatever you get used to, that's what you like. You know what I mean? So, all right. Let's see. All right, good question from Steven. I can't pronounce your last name. Andonopoulos. I believe that's a Greek name. Right, Rashid, what do you use for motivation when in the gym? What gives you that extra push? Big Rob, AD, John Flexen, Bulo, of course CT Fletcher, one of my training partners. When we're in there together and we're getting after it, it's like all out war. So, even though like say Big Rob, that's who I'm usually with. That's my brother and I love him to death. But we battling it out on the iron, and it's not even a competition type thing. We competing against ourselves, but it's like we sharpen each other. So if Rob go first or I go first, one of us got to set the bar, so the other one got to match or go above. So we typically try to go above what the last person did, and it does nothing but increase gains, increase strength, increase dick size. You know what I mean? Because look, you push yourself. It just makes you more beastie. I was having a conversation with some guys today, and about why I train the way I train, and I just want to put it out there. I know people who don't train in the same capacity as me, or as heavy, or as many reps as me, or as my workload is immense when I'm training. So I know people who don't train that hard and that still look great and that are still pretty strong, okay? So I'm not gonna tell you guys that you gotta train like the way that I train, but I'm telling you what I enjoy. I don't like to just leisurely exercise or leisurely lift. I like to plan my progressions, and I like to progress with my lifts. I lift to be strong, okay? I lift to be healthy, fit. But overall, my main objective when lifting, and it's always been this way, was to get stronger, I always wanted to be strong. Okay, so I push myself. I love that competitiveness with myself. You know, yesterday I just hit. We squatted. We went to burnouts, the heavy burnouts at 365. I finally got to 20 reps on my burnout because I've been getting 18, 17. And I wasn't gonna stop till I got to 20, so I finally got that. So I'm gonna keep doing that till it's easy, and then it's 405 for my burnouts. That's me. I'm all about progression. I'm all about pushing myself, and it's because that's what I like to do. So you gotta train how you like to train, what you enjoy. You do what you enjoy. You're gonna do it well, and you're gonna keep doing it. So that's what I do. So I kind of got off the subject of your topic. I mean, off of your question, but that extra push, my training partners. If I don't have my training partners, really loud music. I need loud music, obnoxiously loud music. I don't care what the music is. It could be rap, rock, dubstep, Disney soundtrack music. It just gotta be loud as fuck. I get irritated when the music is like mid-range, like it's like annoying. Make it loud or no music at all. So loud music motivates me. Also, when I'm trying to get pumped up before I go lift, especially on leg day, I put on old school Ronnie Coleman videos. You know what I mean? The one when he's squatting 800 pounds. Or I put on Johnny Jackson and Branch Warren training videos. It get me pumped up. I'm like, fuck yeah. I put on something from CT. You know what I mean? And I watch videos just like you guys, and I get pumped up. And I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go kill this shit. You know what I mean? So that's where my motivation comes from, the gym. What about you, Tim?
I don't have the same situation going on with, you know, I don't have a training partner. So for those out there who go to the gym, don't have a training partner, it's a little different. You don't have, you know, that person pushing you. It's more of a self battle within yourself, you know, to make yourself better. But for me, you know, I'm the same way. I watch videos. I watch their videos, him, Big Rob, CT, you know, to get me amped up. You know, 4 scoops of IX3 make it a little better too. That's just what I do.
Just do hardcore.
Yeah, I take 4. And me, you know, I give me some pre-workout in. I like to blast. A little weird, but I like classical music, like that crazy shit you hear in the war movies. You know, the drum rolls and the aggressive beats. I love that. So I'll turn on some crazy aggressive classical music, give me some IX3 in, and I go to town. So you know, it's a little different when you're working out by yourself. You gotta really push yourself, and you know, not slack off. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Some of these questions, man, I'm not even gonna. Whoa. What's CT Fletcher's favorite cuss word? Fuck. All right. Let's see. I sent it to your e-box. No. No.
sure
You could be like everybody else and post it right here, bro. I'm not going through the thousands of messages in the inbox. Why didn't you do Worlds? And when will you become world champ, my guy? Thank you for the inspiration, true love. I didn't do Worlds because I feel the politics heavy. I feel like it's unfair for all of the people who bust their ass training for all of those weeks, and who spend. Worlds is expensive as fuck, and I got a lot of money, and Worlds is expensive. So, but I'm not into throwing my money away. You know, at the end of the day, you're paying somebody to judge you. You're paying people who are not even in shape to judge you based on your looks. But however, I feel like just a lot of things that I hear, because a lot of people talk, and I have friends in various places, and from what I see, you know, it's evident that politics is heavy, and I'm just not down for it. You know what I mean? So I refuse to put my money and time and energy into an organization that I don't feel is right. I feel like they were great idea, great concept, but even when I watched it, because I went to see a few of my people, I was shocked by the level of talent the level of legit competitors were low. Last year, I thought it was competitive as hell, especially in my category, the muscle model. It was steep competition. However, a lot of the good guys didn't even place, so they said, "Fuck it, I'm not coming back." And I feel them. You know what I mean? Why would you come back, spend your, work your ass off, spend all your money to get unfairly judged, like, or not even looked at, because there's other people who these organizations want to do well, or people who promote shows and bring a lot of money to the organization that's going to place well. You can't deny certain things. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's why I didn't compete. I love to compete. I'm a very busy person. However, I could have took those 2 days and competed. You know what I mean? But I got way better things to do with my money than give it to people who are not fairly giving everybody a fair shot at winning. And at the end of the day, you are spending your money to get judged. You're getting nothing out of it. What's a prize, like $3,000-$4,000? That's nothing. You spend more trying to get out there, your flight, your hotel, you know what I mean? And then there's a lot of promises being made to people that never come through, and I just feel it's shady, and I'm not down for it. So that's why I didn't do Worlds. But my boy AJ should have won. Justin Gonzalez should have won. It's just bullshit. Like, Justin came out, bro, he looked like he was like clearly hands down outclassed, out finessed, best physique, best looking dude up there, placed third. Anyway, moving on. And dudes be wearing makeup over. I'm just cool and all of that. What do you do to get motivated on the days you're just not feeling it? The sluggish days. What do you do?
Sluggish days? Man, what do I do to get motivated? I usually just pop a video in. I go to YouTube, find something, maybe pop one of their videos in on YouTube, or, a lot of times, sometimes I like the Greek mythology movies. I might pop in a Gladiator or something, get me in that aggressive mode, get that testosterone flowing. And I usually, I pick up, get a little energy, get a little, but that's usually what I do. Just pop a video in, just get some visual to get me going.
Mm-hmm. Right. Honestly, days that I'm not feeling it, it depends on how bad I'm not feeling it. I might not even go in that day, because, I try to be superhuman, but I'm not. I get burnt out sometimes, so I'd be like, man, fuck it. I'm taking 3 days off. You know what I mean? And I used to never be like that. I would never take time. I could feel like shit. I'm gonna make myself go in there and train. But all that I found is that you have a shitty session, and I'd rather just wait it out, rest, recover more. Because usually if I'm feeling sluggish, I just need more recovery. You know what I mean? And then go back when I'm ready and have a phenomenal session. So if you're not feeling it, fuck it, don't train. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what I do on sluggish days now. I don't have them often, but if I do feel like that, I'm like, I'll drive to the gym and then walk in like, nah, I'm out of here. All right, so I'm gonna answer one more question. Yo, Mike, I'm a husky guy. What do you prefer? I do more cardio or weightlifting? Okay, good question. So I do prefer you do both. Okay, so the weightlifting, you're gonna burn more calories weightlifting, especially in the right capacity, because when you're tearing down the muscle, when you're building muscle like that, you can burn calories for days. Like typical cardio, and when I say typical, I'm saying steady state cardio on like an elliptical or a treadmill or what have you, you'll burn some calories right while you're doing the work. You know what I mean? You're not really breaking down muscle enough for it to rebuild, so therefore you're not burning those extra calories. So with weight training, you can't really calculate how many calories you're burning because it keeps going, depending on how heavy you lift it and your frequency. So I do recommend you lift in the right capacity, do the basics, do your squats, bench press, deadlift, try pull-ups even if you can't, keep trying till you can. I got videos showing you how to help somebody do pull-ups the right way, and also, you know, shoulder presses. Don't worry about trying to train arms. You don't. If you feel like you're overweight, you shouldn't have an arm day. You shouldn't be working calves. You shouldn't be working triceps. You should be working big compound movements, big body parts, you know what I mean, and supersetting when you can, you know. And also, in addition to that, what the kind of cardio that I do recommend, I don't necessarily recommend steady state, even though it's not bad, but I say get out there and bust some sprints, try to run stairs. It depends on how heavy you are, because if you're really heavy, I wouldn't really recommend you running stairs just yet until you lose some weight, because it could be very damaging to your knees, all of that weight. So get in the sand, get in the grass. I do recommend you running on grass, on sand, not necessarily concrete, because the impact is bad for your joints, it's bad for your ankles, knees, and your hips. And my father, you know, is a healthy guy. He was a track runner and a boxer. Ran track all his life, and all of the running, you know, he jogged every day. You know, it got bad on his hips. He had to have hip replacement, you know. So I wouldn't recommend running on concrete, and I don't recommend running on a treadmill. Or get outside, man. Enjoy the world. The earth is your gym. You know, go to the beach if you have that around. If not, go to a park. There's always a sand pit. We call it the sand pit because when I was young, my dad had me sprint it. But where the kids play, you can do intervals. You could do a lap sprinting, a lap jogging, a lap sprinting, a lap jogging. That way it's a little more fun, a little more interesting, and you really push yourself. You're gonna really sweat, you're gonna be out of breath and all of that good stuff. So do cardio and weightlifting if you wanna lose weight. All right, so check it out, y'all. It's mad late. I got mad work to do. So I'm gonna try to go ahead and upload this right now, and I'll holler at y'all on the flip side, all right? Peace.